Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Model Kit Review. In today's episode, I will be reviewing Hasegawa's Spitfire Mk Vb Tropical in 1/48 scale. This is Hasegawa kit number JT5. This kit comes with beautiful box art of Spitfire ZXN in North Africa, and my plan when I started this kit was to build this version. Unfortunately, as the build progressed, I had to change direction because of the fit and quality of certain parts. And so I ended up building a Spitfire Mk Vc with the clipped wings, and I had to purchase an AeroMaster aftermarket decal sheet, post D-Day Spitfires Part 1, and that is AeroMaster sheet number 48580. As we get further into the review, I will talk about my reasons for choosing to model this aircraft instead of the box art aircraft. In this model kit review, we will be taking a look at the kit instructions. We will be looking at the detail parts on the smaller bits of the aircraft, like the landing gear. We will also look at the clear parts used in this build, and I'll talk about any aftermarket additions I made to the kit. We will look at the kit supplied painting and marking guides in this kit. We will also talk about the quality of the AeroMaster decal sheet that I used. In addition, we will be looking at the surface detailing on the kit and the fit of the major parts, and we'll talk about problem areas to watch out for during the build. Looking at the kit instructions, step 1 has you assembling the cockpit interior and painting that and detailing that. For what can be seen through the cockpit canopy, the detail that is there is adequate for the scale. The only addition I made was to add an Edouard pre-painted photo etch seatbelt. In step 2, you're closing up the fuselage halves and trapping the interior inside. This went well with no problems. Step 3 has you assembling the main wing and attaching the upper wings to the lower wing. I differed from this by attaching the upper wings to the fuselage halves first to get a really nice wing root join. Step 4 has you attaching the wing to the fuselage and the tail planes to the fuselage. Everything went well here. I did not need to use any putty for this kit. Steps 5 and 6 have you assembling the main landing gear. This part of the kit can be really confusing because there are multiple marking options included with this kit, and each one of them has a different landing gear setup or wheels. Make sure you know what marking option has what wheels before completing this step. The landing gear themselves assembled easily. The angle of the landing gear was easy to get right, and I really didn't have any issues with this once choosing what options I was going with. In step 7, we get into the first problem area I had on this kit. The quality on parts D1 and D2 and the fit of those parts to one another and to the fuselage really left something to be desired. These parts were clearly not up to the quality of the rest of the kit, so I decided not to do a tropical Spitfire. Fortunately, the parts for a non-tropicalized Spitfire were included in the kit, and so I used those, and those look fine. Steps 8 and 9 have you assembling the optional bomb, as well as installing the bomb rack, the landing gear, the pitot tube, and the cannon barrels on the kit. Step 10 just covers the canopy installation, and again, you just want to make sure you have the right canopy for the option you choose here. Everything fit really well. The clarity on the clear parts was nice, and I really had no issues whatsoever with the canopy section of this kit. Steps 11 and 12 deal with the installation of the prop spinner and prop blades. I'm not a real fan of this design, but the installation looked okay in the end. Step 13 has you installing the wingtips and the exhausts and a few antennas. For whatever reason, this is another problem area on this kit. The standard wingtips, parts B13 and B11, the wingtips were thicker than the wings themselves. So instead of dealing with those, I simply installed the clipped wingtips, and the fit of the clipped wingtips was excellent. There are a total of 4 marking options included in this kit. They are all for tropicalized Spitfire Mk Vs with standard wingtips. But the choices I made during construction meant that I would not be using any of the kit supplied decals. In the end, I went with AeroMaster sheet number 48-580, and I modeled a Spitfire LF Mk Vc of 142 wing in June of 1944. This aircraft was flown by Wing Commander John Milnes Checketts, and the outer cannon stubs on this aircraft had been removed. I used a mix of the kit decals for the national markings and the AeroMaster decals for the specific plane markings. Both the kit decals and the AeroMaster decals performed very well. I did not have issues with any of the decals. In conclusion, is Hasegawa's Spitfire Mk Vb Tropical still worth building? Well, in the end, I'm really happy with the way this kit turned out. The parts that I chose to use fit very well. The level of detail of the parts and the surface detailing on the kit really look nice under a coat of paint. The panel lines are finely engraved. The clear parts are nice. The fit of all of these parts was excellent, and the kit really looks good on the shelf. On the downside, I was really disappointed by the fit of the standard wingtips, the quality and fit of the tropical air filter, and I'm not a real fan of the way the prop installs on the airframe. Another minor complaint I have is the somewhat flat top of the upper engine cowling, but to me that's not a deal breaker. The fit of most of the kit parts is excellent. This kit is not parts heavy. It's a fairly straightforward build. And my only hesitation to recommending this kit for modelers of all skill levels is the poor fit of some of the kit parts and the confusing number of options on the landing gear. Otherwise, it's a very straightforward build and something that most modelers should be able to tackle easily. Well, I'd love to know what you guys think. If any of you have built the Hasegawa Mk V Spitfire previously, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative. And until next time, model on.